Friends, hello, it is Friday and we have had another week here in the market. Let's talk about what is going on here. So let's dig into Trump media here, DJT for the ticker for that. So here we are right now at the sell-off. The sell-off is taking place right now, and I've been talking about this quite a bit. So I've made this nice little kindergarten chart, little piece of paper right here, so we can all see what's going on here and talk about, kind of this is where my head's at right now with this situation. So, kind of go over this first little bit right here. The news with this stock right now, there's a new story every week about how Trump is doing this and doing that in a negative light. We've had the two brothers who pled guilty to insider trading, accusing Trump. Then we've had now they're going after his properties in Florida again. I don't know what is that going to do? And now they were asking Trump here recently, is he going to sell out of Truth Social? He said he wasn't. And the stock has gone back to $40, pretty much where we were, 2 weeks ago before the merge. And with that merger, we saw this almost $70 price zone. And this is where I was telling people, like, hey, I'm selling out. I'm leaving right now. I'm going my own. I'm just leaving right now. I'm gonna let the dust settle. Even if it keeps going up, I'm okay. I'm okay with what's going to happen here. I think a lot of you did. I saw a lot of your comments said you sold out and, and you're going to, come back here. And this has kind of been my whole, story on this situation. So we're back to 40 right now. We're back to 40. Now, the question is, will this 40 hold, or are we going to go to this $30 zone, which I think is a safe landing, or a $20 zone? So more than likely, and this is just me where I'm at right now, I do think that this stock will go back to a 20, possibly somewhere in the teens for a moment. I believe it will go there for a moment. Now, what does this moment look like? Does this moment look like 2 weeks? Does it look like 45 days? Does it look like 2 months? I think over the summer, this stock could take a lot of damage. I think it might take damage. But my thought with this too is that it's going to come back really hard here, probably maybe bigger than we've seen it, starting back up in September here later in the year, obviously. And we're seeing this situation too where it's an election year, but it's a weird election year because we're not really talking about the election. The media will not talk about the election. It's obvious that it's going to be between Biden and Trump, but they're just not. I don't know. Is anybody else seeing this? I mean, we're just not talking about it. We're talking about everything else in the world. And every day it seems like something terrible is happening. But with that too, talking about this stock, possibly where it could land here in the next 30 days of trading. April is not going great in the market. There's a lot of fear in the market right now. There is a lot of, and this is what we were saying 2 months ago. This is what economists were talking about. We thought March could be showing a little bit of signs of weakness, and March wasn't terrible, but April so far here is really getting people are getting spooked, and they are selling out of things. We're seeing a lot of stocks get just things ripped out of it right now, and I think too, I really do think that there is this shift right now where a lot of people are taking money out of stocks because of the being unsure of where the market's going. But two, crypto is probably about to go, X something. It's probably about to go to 5X or something with this Bitcoin happening, and which is going to take all these cryptos, meme coins, all of them, and do something wild. So people are taking their money and putting it in different places because the majority of people that were in this stock right here, Trump media, were day traders, short traders, whatever you want to call them here, people trying to get in and get out and get their money and go. And then we have people who are like, well, maybe I should just get out, and they're taking a loss and they sell. And so this is where the question comes up to where, are we going to see this fall to 30, which I think is still fine. I think that's perfectly fine. Or 20, and I'm going to be honest, if this stock were to survive over the summer at a $30 to $20 zone, to where it could make it towards the end of the year where we see more of the election start to take place here, be built. That would be amazing, I think, because, you know, this is where I really run into issues with people. You have to understand that this company is not physically bringing in millions upon millions upon billions of dollars right now. It's just not. But that's okay. It's a new company. So the evaluation of what you're paying right now is not really what it should be. You know, this is like when people were buying Tesla at $400 or $500 before its last split, because they knew that it was going to keep going up because it was out of control. And right now, Trump media is in that situation right now where people are scared to let it go because it could continue to get a little crazy. But I personally don't think that's coming until later in the year. I just, unless something ridiculous happens here, I do expect there to be a push when we finally have, Trump announcing that he is officially running for president once again. There will more than likely be a push in the stock, but I don't think it'll make it last long. So with that, if this stock were to survive through the summer with a $30-$20 range, I think that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I think a lot of the fear right now is that it's going to continue to get very bearish, and people are going to get impatient, which is the number one killer in any investor's life. Having no patience, wanting to get your money out, willing to take a loss, and people just, like, wow, I want to put my money in this other thing over here, and they just, they're going to lose a few $100. They don't care because they'll make it up somewhere else. And that's what we may start to see here with this right now. So $10, I don't think it should be, out of the question. There could be a bad moment here for this stock, but we could see the stock really start to take shape here around, September, especially going into October. So I think right now, and this is why I was preaching, like, before the merger, I made a few videos where I was like, hey, try not to get too attached to what's going on right now. Don't get too emotional. Take profit where there's profit, even if you're going to lose another 20-30%. It's okay, because it could be a while before we start to see this thing run again, and that may be happening. But we're sitting at $40 right now, and this, it wasn't the greatest week in the market. It just wasn't. I mean, this thing fell pretty steep, but it's honestly right back to where it was before the merger. And this $30, $35, $40 range with this stock the past 3 months now, 3 months, this is where it's been sitting. So this could be the bottom. We have not seen 20s in quite some time here. So if it falls to 20, in the 20s, that means that we're having some heavy hitters get out. We're having some people be very impatient, and you're losing a massive amount of shares, and it's just, my fear is once it gets into the 20s, the teens will come. If it reaches the 20s, be prepared for the teens. But there's another page, another chapter to the story too, and that really is later in the year. You're just waiting on news, you're waiting on the right time, and you're waiting on, another bull run with this stock right now. So we have big sell-off right now, hitting this crash back to 40, and I mean honestly, it's still a very high stock. The question is right now is, where is it going to land? I think 2030 we can survive. I think that's very doable. I'm not shocked to see this thing really take some damage here the longer it sits without real news getting attached to it. It's waiting on news. This thing's going to move with news. It's still wrapped around hype, FOMO, people not wanting to miss out on something. And this is just a situation of where it's going to be right now. So that's really what I'm looking at right now with the stock. This is not me trying to make a video talking bad about the company or anything. I'm just saying, I don't want to lie. Like, I don't want to get on here and be one of these people like, it's going to the moon. I don't think it is right now at all. I think there's another play in this, but I definitely don't think it's here in April. I'm not expecting any stocks here in April to do anything. I think this is going to be a cold month leading into the summer here. So, people have been talking about Rumble. I made a video about Rumble Monday or Tuesday, and I'm still in Rumble, man. I'm not selling out in Rumble, even if it goes down quite a bit more, which I even said in that video. I'm pretty sure I was like, I wouldn't mind to see Rumble go back down to $4 to $5 because I would probably start buying back in. I'm in Rumble for the long run here. I don't think Rumble, the company, is going anywhere. I believe Rumble is going to continue to grow in viewership, people being attached to it, and there's still those situations that could happen with Rumble where Rumble gets bigger people, contracts signed to where they're strictly on Rumble. I said this too. Imagine if Joe Rogan got a contract with Rumble. What do you think that would do to the stock overnight? Everybody wants that contract, and that's been talked about in the past. Joe Rogan has talked about he has talked to Rumble. They just didn't come to an agreement. But as if things continue to get worse for free speech here, yeah, I mean, you could definitely see Joe Rogan go to Rumble, and that'd be huge. And Rumble is looking for a big partnership. That is very obvious right now. They're looking for something. They're looking for something to really get into the competition to put their name out there even bigger. And I think it's going to be a really big year regardless for Rumble. They've already hit this first quarterly. If they continue to hit quarter after quarter this year, you're talking about a stock that's going to run hard in the next bull run. I think that's easy to say. I think anybody that's been in stocks for any time would probably agree on that. So you will have no hate here with Rumble. I love Rumble, and I think it's going to do big things here. Friends, I'm going to stop yapping. I will make another video this week. There's a certain stock I want to talk about that has probably been the best thing I've called in all of my YouTube career calling stocks. So I'll try to make a video this week about that. But yeah, what a week. I don't know that next week's going to be any better in the market. It could be worse. Jerome Powell's talking. It's rates, inflation, housing market, war, famine, earthquakes, bridges. It's just, it all affects the stock market. It all affects the stock market, and that's what we're seeing right now. Friends, I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. We have 2 days here without the stock market. Play around some crypto and watch what happens. I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.